Fields of Grace, everybody. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our high tunnel structure. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nicolette and I flower farm here in Iowa. This is the first year of us having an actual flower farm itself. Been growing things for about 20 years and we finally took the big leap. We've been renting this acre of land from good friends of ours. They've got a farm here not too far from where we live. And so this year, it's October right now, and so as you can see the field, we've been cleaning stuff out. We've had a really successful first year, and I really wanted to share with you about our high tunnel and kind of just where this all came from. This is the first time I've ever had a high tunnel, which is super exciting because it means you can start growing stuff very early in the season and well late into the season. And I'm very curious here this fall to see how the stuff I have planted in there is going to grow. We've had some really mild winters here in Iowa the last couple years. In my home flower beds, I still had snapdragons and a few other things blooming even at Christmas time last year. So it's kind of entertaining, and I'm excited to see how late into the season I can keep flowers growing in there. But I want to talk to you today about kind of the structure of our high tunnel because a lot of people don't know where to begin or how to get started. Basically, you guys, we put this up we tried to start putting it up in the beginning of February, and our weather here was atrocious. We had insane, and I mean insane wind, February through March, well into April. And so it took several tries for us to actually come out here and get the high tunnel up and wrapped and secured, just due to the wind. It wasn't because there was a lot of snow on the ground. There was hardly any at all, and it was actually fairly warm. Just the winds were so crazy. So that's why there was no video sooner about our high tunnel, because when we were putting it up, it was going against impossible odds just to get it up. However, okay, my structure here it's not heated. It is I believe 18 by 28 or 20 by 28 structure, and we have doors on each end. And my husband actually built this himself. He researched a bunch of high tunnel kits. He's an engineer and has done construction stuff, so he felt pretty confident that he was going to get this up, and actually he did an amazing job, you guys. I'm going to walk in a little bit closer. Ignore the weeds here. We kind of let this row go. But you can see that we have metal bars about every 4 feet all along the sides. We used wood. I don't know if you can see here. I think they're 6-inch boards for the main, across the top and the bottom. I'll go on the inside and show you. He's got support beams on the inside as well. And then kind of scattered around, we have really deep, can't see that one. You can see the green straps. Here we go. You can see here we have big, huge, heavy bars. Straps go actually around. I don't know if you can see it. It's really sunny out today, so I can't actually even see what I'm showing you in my phone. But they come up underneath and go around. Underneath the plastic and around these long boards that go all the way across. And I'm glad I'm not too close. I just discovered a little hive here. Not cool. Hubby's gonna have to take care of that here soon. So as you can see and hear, this is a normal day here in Iowa. It's gusty, it's windy, and so when we're trying to put this up, the store, the wind was just crazy, and so trying to get the plastic to stay on and not rip off in the high winds. I am on the west end of the tunnel, and believe it or not, we had issues on the east end as well. We normally get our winds here from the west with a north or slight slant, and we had insane winds coming from the east all spring. It was just bonkers. And so you can see the little boards here along where he screwed in and the boards help hold the plastic against and keep it from like ripping off. Whereas if you just use screws, the plastic rips right back off. So we learned that one. Well, and you can see it still even rips here. So we had our shade cloth. If you see my last video, there was a black shade cloth across the whole top of the tunnel, which worked wonders, keeping the temperatures in there cooled down a bit during the summer. We just took it off. And that was actually helping to hold down the ends, the top half of the ends here, because it was longer than our tunnel, which was great. So it was kind of like a weighted blanket on top of this. And so you can see that even this didn't hold up super great in spots. We've had, I'm sharing this with you guys because it's like informational, educational. So there was one storm that came through in like the end of May, sometime in June, I think. And it was like an insane, like tornado style sheer winds, and it blew the door, blew the top, blew out the other end. And we almost lost, like if the straps weren't down deep into the ground, we would have lost the whole tunnel. There were flower farmers within like 3 to 4 hour circle around me who had had their tunnel for years, been through many, many other storms, and they completely lost their tunnels. And so the fact that ours actually stayed put, that particular storm, it had actually lifted up and shifted the entire tunnel over by like 3 inches. Like on the inside, you can actually see where it had shifted the whole thing during that storm. And so this whole year, it's been all about how do we just anchor it down and keep it from blowing away, because the biggest issue is the wind out here. So on this other long side, I mean, you can see the straps and the row bars going down into the ground. He did long, I think these are 1x1 boards from here to like here, like 1.5 to 2 foot long boards, and wrapped the top of the roof plastic around them and then screwed that in to help hold them down, which worked for this first year. So we actually used one of the cheaper plastics for the whole tunnel this year, because it was just like, we just have to try something and get it up and make them deal with it the best we can the first year. We are actually now going to get the next, I think it's 2 levels up durability of plastic, take all this down and redo it here before winter sets in. And it's also the thicker, like more frosty proof plastic as well. So, but I just want to share this with you guys because the cheaper plastic does work. It will get you through year 1. We've had places where, you know, there were holes like from storms or whatever, so we had to tape up a little bit, or the wind would rip and blow. But for the roof, for the top, we did these clamps. Some are black and some are silver. They are like every 1 foot all the way over the top end arches. And that was due to the wind. I mean, you can see like floppy spots where that one particular storm had ripped and blown out ends, and we had to come back, and we had enough plastic on there to begin with. We left enough so that if we had to come back and reclamp down, we could. Let me see here. Let's take you inside. All right, so this is the inside of the tunnel, and we have the across beams. Those actually move and wiggle a little bit, which helps on those really windy days. And again, we had the shade cloth on top. You can see the like black spots up there where that kind of rubbed the plastic on the top of the metal, and how it kind of floats right now on a windy day. It's kind of floating above the bars, the plastic is. Well, the shade cloth really helped kind of hold and anchor the roof down, which was fantastic. And the inside here, so we have the plastic coming, it's on the inside instead of the outside. I'm not sure, we may change that here when we redo the plastic, but you can again see a lot of the little pieces of wood that my husband wrapped the top of the plastic, the ends of the plastic around, and then screwed them in to help keep them from being ripped off. And again, we did not go crazy. Like there's spots in the corners and stuff that we didn't get too nitpicky on. It was just get the whole thing up and see how it holds up for us. So when we go to redo the plastic, we're gonna make sure the corners, around the doorways, all that stuff is nice and sealed up good to keep the frost and the cold out. There's a lot of traffic going by on the highway, so sometimes I have to pause momentarily so you guys can still hear me. So the tunnel itself, it is mid-October, and it's actually kind of warmer than normal for this time of year here. But the temperatures the last couple of days have been in the upper 70s, low 80s. And it is toasty in here. When I opened it up in here, it was probably 90, 95 in here. So this tunnel, like the tunnel effect, definitely works. With the shade cloth on, the shade cloth kept the temperatures in here about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than the outside temperatures during the summer. And now that it's fall, clearly we want it to stay warm and toasty in here, so we took it off. But when you are in here, it's a good 10 to 15 degrees warmer in here than the outside of the tunnel. So again, you guys, this is just a basic high tunnel. It's very simplified. We were trying to save money. We were just getting the flower farm going. And so we didn't cut corners per se, because my husband, again, engineer, construction person, knows how to like rig stuff up and all of that. But it does save money compared to buying a kit if you purchase all of the materials yourself and get it put up yourself. We had a couple of buddies help my husband get it all up. So it kind of just gives you an idea of what the high tunnel can be like, can look like on the cheaper end if you try to do it yourself. Eventually, when we have our own land, we're going to invest and get one of them high quality, like 100-foot long tunnels, and I'll be super excited. It'll be heated, so I can definitely grow things year round. And again, I'm excited to see how late into the season I can grow stuff. We didn't end up, because it took like a whole month to finally get the tunnel up this year. And so I didn't actually get stuff in here until like mid-March. And so this next year, I'll be putting some stuff in here probably the beginning of February, like the ranunculus and anemone, the stuff that really likes that cool weather. And we'll get some foxglove and, you know, a lot of other cool season flowers going in here a lot earlier, which is exciting too. So I'm excited because I'm going to be able to grow stuff in here for probably 10 months out of the year. The exception is going to be probably January, maybe through February, kind of depends on our winters. So you guys, if you have any questions kind of about our basic high tunnel structure, you can leave them in the comments. And I'll try to answer them. If I don't have answers, I'll ask my husband and relay those back, because I think this is always a huge investment. It's a huge thing to take on. And again, weather-wise, it's kind of a battle. Maybe you all, hopefully y'all get a little luckier than we were. Picked a fun year to start a flower farm weather-wise. But again, you can see we've got a lot growing in here. I was successful from the start in here. I had ranunculus and anemone down here and down here. I did a whole row of leucanthus by seed. They were phenomenal. We did some specialty flora dahlias down there. We had stock down there, a snapdragon. Those are the original snapdragons I put in here in March. Towards the end of March, I did them by seed and like seedlings. And then we had like fillers and other stuff, status, yarrow, other things growing over here. And so it was really a successful first spring using the high tunnel. A little delayed because we just didn't get the tunnel up as early as I wanted to. But now, as October, towards the end of August, I cleaned out all the summer flowers except for those snapdragons. And we've got new stock, new holiday zinnias like red and green. Some of the Queenie Lime series. Got celosias. I got a bunch of filler stuff started down there. And we got more stock and snapdragons going, and some, oh, what did I got put in there? I don't remember. It's about to start budding and blooming. So, yeah, so I'm definitely making full use and doing succession planting in here for year one. Trying to make the most out of the learning opportunity to see what all I can grow in here, how early and how late into the season. And so that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this, found some part of it useful if you're working on high tunnel for your own flower farm or backyard gardening. And we'll see you guys next time. So I gotta add here, exciting news. We are working on an addition to our high tunnel. At the beginning I said it was about 30 feet long. We're hoping to add another 8 to 10 feet, which will give me additional growing space in there, and that's exciting. It's so exciting to be growing and thriving as a small business and flower farmer. Oh, it's just wonderful.